but it's a challenge to be gentle with myself. And so I'm curious about how you do that, because it must be internal, the fact that you exude it so strongly outwardly. How do you bring forward, I would say, gentleness and grace, really?
That's a good question. So, um, when you start out becoming aware, you're doing that on your own, probably, right? So you're thinking about it and you're not sharing that exactly. But if you want to make a change in uh, when you're in the moment of that resentment, if there's someone that you know who you trust, who can listen and who's not going to judge, and this is like a religious person, this is confession, this is where it used to happen always with confession. So you're looking for someone who has that same intention, and you tell them what's going on and how you're feeling, and doing that, you're bringing it out into the world. You're bringing out who you are in all of its frustration into the world. That's a humble experience, because you're admitting that you are arrogant, or you're admitting that you're full of pride, and so you're admitting this not gentle person. You're admitting that you're not that gentle person, but accepting that that is part of you, and that power that you get from all of those. I shouldn't say power because that's so politicized now, but um, that courage that you have when you're aggressive. So you want to, like my husband would say, you want to have that sword, but you want to have it sheathed, right? So you want, and I think what he means by that is you want to have acceptance that you are that person, and gratitude for having that force in you, but it has to be used properly. So you want to share when it's not being used properly. You want to share that with someone you trust. At that time, you're sharing that also with your higher power. So you're putting it into the world, which means that um, you know it deep in your soul now that someone else in the world knows this too. And then you can get feedback from the person, but you can also just get, when you say something out loud, all of a sudden it makes more sense than when it's in your head. Why
Yeah.
is that? Why is that? Isn't that kind of miraculous? That you have to share. So all these podcasts and all this stuff that's going on with people speaking one to one, I think is bringing that um, confession that we used to have in the church, and sometimes still do, but not as much, into everyday life. And I think that's the power of the podcast, is that these things that we're saying to one another are making, uh, they're bringing an, uh, it's not judgment, but uh, discernment, that I have to be careful with what I say, because I'm trying to say something that's truthful to you. And that's where we all want to be. We don't want to be hiding behind our fears and our inadequacies and pretending we're something we're not. So when I was on that tour with my husband, and I was doing all the work that was required, but questioning myself, I could just feel that there was something else that was necessary, or there was something else. I don't know. I didn't know. It was just, that wasn't, what was I doing there? That was my only question. What am I doing here every day, sitting in a theater, listening to a talk, hanging around after, going home? Like, what am I doing? and um, and then I had all those profound, then I was ill, and then I breathed in all those prayers from all those people, and I realized, oh, wow, I had no, like, obviously I had no idea where I was, uh, but not knowing where I was didn't stop me from doing what I was doing. And so it was good to stay in the moment and do what you're doing, even if you have doubts, because it will come clear if you give it time. It will come clear. Even something as crazy as, having a near death experience, it'll become clear. But you have to allow it to come clear in its own time.